For starters, if any diet could be classified as the New World Order diet, it is undoubtedly this new, disgusting, unhealthy, and immoral carnivore diet, and not veganism, which has been around and proven itself for thousands of years, a morally consistent philosophy, and a nutrient-rich, healthy diet. There is a ridiculous new counter-movement of carnist conspiracy theorists claiming that eating a balanced plant-based diet is somehow unhealthy, and a New World Order Agenda 21 conspiracy meant to undermine your well-being. Many of the people pushing this idea are also claiming the complete opposite, that eating raw animal corpses is what everyone should actually be doing. To begin with, if any diet could be called the NWO slave diet, it is the current SAD, standard American diet, full of carcinogenic and artery-clogging animal fats and proteins. A diet which necessitates the enslavement and murder of billions of innocent, defenseless, sentient beings every single year. A vegan diet, on the other hand, eliminates as far as practical and possible all cruelty to animals and has been approved by the largest body of medical authorities in the world as being healthy and suitable for people during all stages of life, including children and pregnant mothers. I have personally been vegan for over 14 years now, and in that entire time have not fallen sick once and have energy for days. I will be 40 next year, but people who first meet me often think I'm still in my 20s. Veganism is in fact one of the most anti-establishment movements out there, and the fact that big corporations are now starting to advertise vegan meats, cheeses, and other products is not evidence of some grand NWO Agenda 21 vegan conspiracy, but simply capitalism doing what it has always done and capitalizing on whatever the market demands. Since veganism has seen such a rise in recent years, the corporations are creating new vegan products to keep up with the demand. These fake meats, fake cheeses, etc. are not health foods, however, so I agree with the critics that they should only be eaten sparingly, with fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, beans, nuts, and seeds making up the majority of your diet. I also have my own documentary, highly recommended, for anyone interested in this subject, called Stop Eating Your Friends.
Or I gotta eat a keto diet, because they always promote the opposite of what we really need. So they promote high-fat, low-carb diets. They call it Atkins, they call it keto, paleo, primal. They give it new names. They update the thing regularly. Low-carb, they just call it low-carb. But what is a low-carb diet but a high-fat diet? If things that are low in carbs are high in fat. So, but the optimal food for humans is fruit. And almost all fruits are high carb. And we are high carb beings. Mm-hmm. And the propaganda is trying to get us to think that we want to have a high fat diet. Mm-hmm. And even in vegan land, like they're starting to promote keto vegan, like that's the healthy option. And so, I've experimented on this for a long time, and I've researched the subject for a long time. And people who don't know me from this subject, they think that like Eric knows everything about all these other subjects, but when it comes to health, Eric doesn't do his research and he doesn't know anything. It's like, hey guys, I figured out all that other stuff, and you think the only thing I'm wrong about is how I eat. Like, okay, well, talk to me when I'm 50, when I'm 60, when I'm 70. I think over time people are slowly coming around to the fact that maybe Eric does know a few things about health, because he seems to be looking good, he seems to be doing fine, and he's doing the exact opposite of what all the other gurus are saying. That I should be eating high fat, and I should be doing a carnivore diet. I should be eating exclusively meat, and dairy is good for you, Eric. And why would you eat like a rabbit, not plant? It's like there's 70,000 edible plant foods on Earth. Yet most people stick to the same 4 or 5 animals, and they think that's the level of variety that the human body requires. The human body, all nutrients comes from plants, including the ones that we get secondhand from the animals. And people think that them getting animal protein or this and that nutrient from animals needs to happen that way. A, they either get it from plants, and we can get it directly from plants themselves, or B, we can create it ourselves, and we don't need to eat it exogenously to create it, especially if we're running at an optimal if our system's running optimally, you hear
Exactly,
that?
because
That's
they know
another one you
that my
hear
point.
in
Yeah,
veganism as well. The second you corner them with one of their excuses, they just jump to
yeah,
their next excuse on the Rolodex. There's like
yeah,
30 or 40. I found with flat Earth and veganism, it's about the same. There's about 30 to 40 common excuses that you just hear
mhm,
over and over again. And if you just have stock answers to those 40 things, eventually they'll just run out of anything to
yeah,
say,
yeah,
and walk away. And
yeah,
hopefully
exactly.
you've planted a seed. Depending on the type of person that they are, that seed
Yeah,
will either rot or in time will blossom, and a lot of those people will take it to heart. The key element I've found though is time. Everybody
right,
needs time. Like nobody can just be presented with any of these kind of subjects, be it veganism, flat Earth, or other big subjects or conspiracies, and then
mhm,
just that moment that you're presenting it to them, accept it and be like, you know what? You're right. That's true.
right.
And it's almost fine. That's fine because that would be a bit too quick. Don't you think? If people were
Oh yeah,
that quick to just flip mode their entire belief structure, everything they've known. So it's actually
in yeah,
yeah, it's actually fine that it takes time. It's just disconcerting sometimes to flat earthers or vegans that are constantly trying to talk to newbies, and at the end of every single conversation, you feel like you haven't done anything at all. But
right, right. Well,
with the
no,
key
yeah, I'm
element of
actually.
time, you find
Yeah.
that you have. You really have.
Oh yeah, yeah, I,
I put
yeah.
out a video called what is it, Truth or Depression Recovery, and
Right,
I was advocating for activism as a solution to depression for
right,
truthers,
right,
because
right.
one thing that happens when people come to all of this knowledge and you realize
Mhm,
how many which ways you're being fucked from every other angle,
right,
it's depressing to no end, and to know how little you seemingly can do about it. But then,
right.
if you get out there and say, screw it, I'm going to see what I can do, it's really empowering, encouraging, inspiring, and it absolutely changes the world. And it doesn't take that long. Like, I've found out for myself, because this is the path I've taken as well. Basically, I started researching all this information. For me, it was 9/11. It angered me to screams and tears on multiple occasions. Just the fact that this is the world I'm living in, like this is what I was born
Right.
into. I have to live the rest of my life like this. Like this is, oh my God. And and oh, and what am I going to do? I'm going to teach English. That's what I was doing at the time. I was going to teach a language for the rest of my life or something. Like, no, this information, it's so important and empowering and suppressed and censored, and it's exactly what people need. And not just flat Earth, but yeah, veganism, all these conspiracies, spirituality information that's been suppressed from us. There's so much, and it is in big part the education quote unquote system that's doing this. They're indoctrinating us into certain ideas rather than giving us the freedom to decide our own curriculum and figure out what the truth is for ourselves.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Again,
You actually have to do something. You have to get active to get out of that emotional space, and that will at least raise you up to some higher vibration. Though, of course, researching all the time and then doing activism all the time, that's going to raise your stress levels as well because of how much stuff you're doing, how much externalization you're doing. And so you also have to balance it by making sure you have plenty of time for yourself and things to do for yourself. For me, that is meditation, yoga, uh, martial arts.
when I
Yeah.
hear people just talking shit, that fuels me to want to go out more. Like, oh my God, these motherfuckers are fucking, like, oh my God, like it just fuels me to go out and actually, do more activism and
Cool,
so
man. And
so I
that's
just
what
turn that
that,
around.
exactly, that's what you want, like transmutation, right? Take that negative energy and find a way
Yeah,
to channel it into something positive like this. It's way better than just
exactly.
stewing on it in a lonely depression and wondering what I could do. Everyone needs to
Yeah,
find that thing, and it doesn't have to be the same thing for everyone. Like, Eric, is it ever gonna be a mass awakening? Is the world ever gonna come to these truths? Are we ever gonna have real freedom and truth reign in the world? It's like, well, It's up to you. That depends on you. What are you doing today, tomorrow, and the next day to make sure that that does happen? And if the answer is nothing, then sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you know, who else are we to rely on but each other? Like these rich psychopaths that have had control of the world for so long are now basically just consolidating that control and continuing it. Change certainly isn't going to come from up on high. Change could only come from the grassroots and from those of us that feel this way, those of us that feel downtrodden and that we are victims of this system. It's up to us to somehow find a way, while we're making our way in this slave system. Most people don't even have the time to watch these documentaries or read a book. Exactly. It's so difficult to make a living, like we were saying. But if you have some free time, what's better than this that you could do for yourself and for the world? Like we're saying, it really does benefit you and the world to do this kind of activism, because and if you don't, what kind of legacy are we leaving for your children and for the next generation, for our grandchildren? I mean, they're going to ask, like, what were you doing when the New World Order was forming, mommy and daddy? What did you do during the plandemic?
Wear a mask on, just do what I'm told. By the way,
I socially distanced and got triple boosted and wore a mask for 3 years. Why? Why, honey?
Yeah, there's no real answer to that. That was crazy.
Really sealed the deal, and it went from me defending them, and I wasn't a defender hard at all. I was mainly upset with Eddie Bravo, because he was just like, man, look, I know, he's talking to Joe Rogan. He's like, trust me, man, it is. Like, you don't understand. I'm like, Eddie, you got to stop. You got to stop. And I'm like, okay, I'm debunking him right now. I'm so, I found you. I'm like, huh. Well, damn. All right. So after that, Eddie was like one of my favorite guys. I'm like, dude, yeah, he's telling the truth now. Now, if he's not on a show, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to see it anymore.
What the fuck will it take for the rest to empathize?
Yo, serial killer, staring you in the mirror. Cold corpses on the counter, getting ready for dinner. Blood gurgling, fun murdering some young girl while the sun's burgundy. Gas guzzling, cries muffling, thighs stuffing 'em, rhymes stuck in your mind. Fucking the prime number of fine women just for a bite of chest meat. And don't you fucking judge me while I eat your breast, please. I just need a bit of protein. I know plants have it, but I want it from your ice cream. Then you scream, cause I'm sucking on some cow tits. But I swear where I come from, we all do this. Species is cannibals, think with our mandibles. Rambling man says, man, you're a shambles. Stop eating animals, try brambles instead. You're gambling your fam on random sandwiches.